Chapter 11. We are Lalitambika.
Born in 1962 in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, Lalitambika grew up in a family of engineers. Her father, uncle, and later her husband. But she credits her mathematician grandfather for piquing her interest in space science. Along with him, she used to watch the sounding rockets that were launched at Thumba Rocket Launching Station every Wednesday from the front of her house. She graduated with a B.Tech degree in electrical engineering from College of Engineering, Thiruvananthapuram with flying colours. She could have gone to the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Madras, for further education. However, life had different plans in store for her. As Lalitambika was the only child, her parents were anxious to see her get married, which she complied with immediately after her graduation. Thus, prompted to enroll at the same college again, Lalitambika completed her M.Tech in control engineering, during which she also gave birth to her daughter. Lalitambika joined ISRO in 1988 when the organization had just begun developing indigenous launch vehicles. A few months prior to her joining, the first augmented satellite launch vehicle, ASLV launch, had failed, followed by another unsuccessful attempt 3 months later. The successive failures affected the morale of the scientists. In the absence of any scientific literature or information on the subject of control engineering, the researchers moved forward by learning from their mistakes. So did Lalitambika. On 15th October 1994, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV was launched 13 months after an initial disappointing attempt. Lalitambika and her fellow engineers worked for 18 to 20 hours every day to ensure that nothing was left unaddressed. The success of the 1994 PSLV mission has since then paved the way for 39 more missions. The last of these, PSLV C-37, helped launch 104 satellites in a single mission, breaking a record that was previously held by Russia's 37 satellites and earning the sobriquet of the workhorse of ISRO. Lalitambika, who has spent 3 decades at ISRO, is a core team member of the autopilot designers and has worked on all Indian rockets PSLV, both the launches of the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle GSLV and Reusable Launch Vehicles RLV. In his speech at the 71st Independence Day celebrations in 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the government's plan to rocket an Indian into space on board a Made in India Gaganyaan module by 2022 to mark 75 years of independence. For her achievements and contribution in putting India on the map of elite space missions, Lalitambika has been appointed to helm the Indian Human Spaceflight Program. If successful, India, a country that spends less than 0.5% of its budget on space research, would be the 4th in the world to do so after the US, Russia, and China. In spite of her remarkable and unprecedented accomplishments, Lalitambika remains humble and soft-spoken. About her working in a field that is conventionally dominated by men, Lalitambika says, "No one at ISRO even thinks about gender. I can say this for sure. This is very liberating." Lalitambika has proved that there should be no barriers that stop you from proving yourself.